Chap tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales? Chappity chap tales. How you doing, people? Okay, so what have we got for you today? Today I have got another story about the band The Fever Dogs that I was in just after The Voice. Okay, so this band consisted of 5 of us actually, and it saw a return of Amon after leaving The Voice. He came back to being the Fever Dogs. There was myself. Amon was playing rhythm guitar. I was doing the vocals. Simon Noosa, or Spuggy, was doing lead guitar. There was a guy called Nick playing the drums, and Dave Weston on bass guitar. And so this sort of kicked off just after all of the voicey bits went dead. This band actually only ended up playing 3 gigs, and I've told you about the last gig that we played at Bull and Gate, and have a look for that episode on Chap Tales. That was quite a funny one. But this band were very eventful for only being alive for such a short period, only playing 3 gigs anyway. Today I am going to tell you about the second gig that we played. And this gig was played at a venue in Walthamstow called the Standard Music Venue. It was on Black Horse Road, if I'm right next to the Walthamstow tube station. So anyway, so we turned up to play at this venue, and I had previously played here a couple of times before. One of the times was with the Latter Voice, and we supported a band called Sounds of London. And that band actually turned into a band that's about now called The Rifles. And we're sort of pals with them and that. Great band. Anyway, so this evening we went down there. I was driving, so I definitely would have had Matty in the car, probably Amon and Dave. And then Spuggy and Nick probably met us down there. Anyway, so I go into the car park behind the venue, park the car up, we get all the gear out of the car, go over to the venue, into the back door, bump, there we go. So we're waiting for our sound check. Can't remember what time. We used to like playing first support, so do you know what I mean? So you're not last on, but you're not first on. And I always used to try to swindle that with the promoters. So we got in there, and we're sort of just hanging about waiting for our turn to get up and do our sound check. Anyway, I am absolutely cream crackered, mate. I am knackered because I'd been to see the band Cast on the night before. At the Shepherd's Bush Empire down the bush, and it was a bit of a late night, and lots of stuff happened and got done, and probably a little journey back to Jamie Nicholas's house after the gig or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just sitting there like the rest of the band, they're plotting about. I am knackered. It's just like nuts. And but also, not only was I knackered, I could kind of tell this night was going to turn into a right good night. So I was like a bit unhappy that I decided to drive everyone down there in my motor or whatever. We should have just all got the tube, and it would have been nice. So yeah, so we carry on waiting, and boom, it's our turn. We jump up on a stage, we get all the levels right and all that, do a little track. And then we leave the stage, and then the headline band checks first. So we checked third, I think. So there was one other band to check after us anyway. So we're still sort of sitting there. And then I looked at our stage time, and it was about 9:30 or something. And it was probably about 4:30. So I was thinking, God, man, I've got enough time to run the motorhome and come back on the tube. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have any gear as such because I just done vocals. I didn't even play guitar at that time. So I said to the others, I said, oh, do you know what, lads? I am going to take the car home. I know you lot want a lift home, but it don't look like you're going to get one because I want to come back on the tube and have a good night. So I made my way out to the car park and left them not in the venue, went over to my motor, and I was absolutely knackered. It was just unbelievable how tired I was. Anyway, open up the car, basically get in the car, sit down on the seat, and I'll tell you what, I shut the door, and I'll tell you what, I was just like, sat back and thought, oh, just have a little rest, because I don't want to drive too knackered, do you know what I mean? I'll just have a little rest. Anyway, I fell to sleep. And next thing I remember is my phone is lighting up like a Christmas tree, screaming at me, whatever ringtone I had going on at the time. And I've managed to get this phone out of my pocket, and I looked at the front and I could see it was Amon calling me. So I answered it. Hello, mate, what's happening? He's like, where are you? I was like, why? And he's like, because we are going on stage in 5 minutes. And he's getting like quite the ump with me, like, do you know what I mean? And I was like, oh no, like pulling his leg a bit, like, oh God, I'm miles away. I'm miles away. I said, look, I thought, 5 minutes, don't know if I can make it, mate. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah. Couple of F words getting thrown in left, right and centre. Anyway, after a few minutes of letting him rant and rave and have a go at me down the phone, I sort of said to him, do you know what? He said, what? I said, I'm in the car park, mate. He's like, oh, I thought you were taking your car home. I was like, do you know what? I was so knackered because of last night. The minute I sat down on my seat in my car, I just thought to myself, just close my eyes for a sec. And I did that, and you've just woke me up. He's like, oh, fuck it. He's like, all right. Just lock the car up. Come on, we're about to do our set. And I was like, all right, sweet. So I went in, boom, jumped on the stage, done our set. It was a great set. It was a great set. And then afterwards, I can remember that everyone was sitting there because we was going to watch the headline band, and they all had drinks in their hands, and there's me with a Coke. And I was looking at them and I was thinking, are you lot happy that I made it back, like, to play our set? Or are you just happy because my car is still sitting in the car park and you know you're all going to get a lift home? And they was just all like, but that is what you get, eh? But yeah, I was well rested though after that, like 3-hour kip or whatever in the motor. And yeah, so we'd done the gig and it was a great gig. Loved that venue. It actually is shut down now, I think. Yeah, last time I went past it, it was all bolted up. But yeah, that is what happens to you when you're knackered. So I didn't end up having such a crazy night that night. I just was on the Cokes, and you can only drink so many Cokes before you're like a bit sugared up. Anyway, yeah. So great gig, other than not being able to go mad afterwards. But got back in the motor after, all the gear, dropped everyone home, boom, went home. And then I weren't very tired then. I think I sat up watching films, you know what I mean? But yeah, okay, so I hope you enjoyed that sweet little one. Bit of a lesson there. Just don't drive to gigs from day one, you know what I mean? Just go on the tube, and then you can either just come back on the tube, or you can go wild in the aisles. And have a good night. But there you go. But so that is what happened on gig 2 of the Fever Dogs. Gig 3 is up for you to have a look at the Chap Tales episodes, and I couldn't tell you what number episode it is, but you'll know what one it is from the title. Okay, nice one. All right, speak soon, peeps.
Chap Tales, don't you wanna hear some Chap Tales?